So, I'm going to do a part 2 to my BMX how-to magazine reading, but to try and keep it different and stop all my videos being the same, I'm going to type out what I read rather than just read it. Subsequently, there will be less to read to you. I got hung up on the idea that I needed to read the whole magazine, which is ridiculous. So I'm probably just going to do 2 how-tos, because I mainly type with my index fingers and type quite slowly. I've never been much of a typist, so let's get started. Hop 180. All you need is a bit of flat ground to get started with the 180. Once you've mastered the hop, think about trying this next. You can break the whole turn down into 3 parts: the 180, the rollback, and the snap out. Step 1. Like most of the basic tricks, a little speed will help the momentum of the trick. You need to be going at walking pace at a very minimum. Faster is better here. As you approach the hop, you need to start carving or turning slightly towards the way you'll spin. As you can see here, well, you can't, I can, but you just have to picture somebody starting to turn slightly as they move forwards. The way you spin is explained in greater detail on pages 40 and 41, but as a general rule of thumb, your back foot will be on the inside of the calf. As you lean into the calf, start to hop as you would normally. The carve you've made across the floor should start you spinning. Step 3. As you take off, tilt your head into the turn, as can be seen in the frames 2 and 3. You don't need to twist your head off here, just look over your shoulder into the spin. Step 4. As the bike comes up and around, you need to start pushing forward on the bars, much like you would in a normal hop. This will tuck the bike up and level it out. Step 5. Once you've landed, that's the first stage over with. Now you have to get facing forward again. Step 6. If you've completed a full 180, you should feel the bike wanting to go backwards. Let the bike do this by rotating the cranks backwards to prevent the cassette from engaging. Rollbacks aren't easy to begin with. It'll take a bit of getting used to steering the bike whilst in reverse. As you can see in the previous frame, landing with your bars turned into the snap out slightly will help the direction of this final turnaround. lost there for a second. Step 7. As you carve out of the rollback and the bike comes around to the final 90 degrees, apply a bit of pressure to your front foot to stop you rolling forward. At the same time, lean back and pull the front end around to face forward again. Step 8. The last bit can be tricky, but as the front wheel starts to face forward again, you can apply more pressure to your front foot to set you off going. Once you've mastered the techniques, you'll be able to maintain speed out as you snap out. Let the bike bring itself around. You just need to guide it in the right direction. And that's how to Hop 180. I've borrowed a friend's microphone attachment for my camera, so it'll be interesting to see the results once I get this into the edit suite. seems strange approaching the transition from an angle. Once you've cracked this one though, countless other ramp tricks will become much easier, and you'll realize it's not as scary as it seems. Step 1. Find a quarter that's between 4 and 5 foot tall. It's better if the deck is long enough for you to get a decent roll before you actually drop in. Step 2. You need to be almost parallel to the coping. A slight angle towards it will help when you come to drop in. A bit of speed will help your balance too. If you go too slow, you might lose your balance. As you set off, put a good solid crank in to get you on your way. Step 3. As you come to the edge of the ramp, lift your wheel slightly. Over the coping and aim it down into the ramp. It's important to get over the coping. If you're too parallel, your tire might catch in the groove where the deck meets the coping. So make sure you've got that slight angle. Step 4. As the front wheel goes over the edge and catches on the transition, turn into the quarter slightly so you go down into the quarter and not sideways. Step 5. The back end will follow suit as you turn. Just make sure you make a nice carve into the transition. Your speed should help with your balance. And step 6. As you level out towards the flat bottom, make sure you're ready for the next quarter. If you're on a mini ramp, there you have it. The most fundamental ramp moves sorted. Let's do one more. That is too many steps. So is that. So is that. Something shorter, please. No. An advert. Smith grind 8 steps. Okay. Let's do a Smith grind 8 steps. Just okay. Getting in and out of a Smith is a bit more complicated than a feeble and a double peg. Which is why it starts off our intermediate section. As with all grinds though, it's all about technique. When Once you've worked it out, smith grinds won't seem so hard. Step 1. Oh, I touched the microphone. Step 1. Find a ledge that's slick enough to slide easily. A shorter ledge might be easier to start with. This way you can come off at the end. Instead of having to pull off to the side. Approach the ledge a little faster than walking speed. Step 2. Approach the ledge at a slight angle. Like you did with the other basic grinds. Step 3. As you hop, tuck up the back end like you would in a regular hop. As you come up over the ledge, start aiming the front peg down. At the same time, you want to let the back end drift over the top, so the wheel can touch down on the top. It's easy to slam down into a double peg here, because the back end isn't kicked over enough. If this is happening, just lean your hips towards the ledge a little when you hop. But keep the bars level. Level, aiming the front peg at the ledge. Step 4. When you touch down in the grind, the peg and wheel should land at roughly the same time. like you can see in the photos. Like I can see in the photos. This will keep the front end relatively weightless, so that it's easier for the front peg to grind. Step 4. Balancing smiths can be difficult as the back end will eventually roll off and land in a double peg. You need to get out of the grind before this happens. As you come to the end of the ledge, start pulling back on the bars slightly, as if you're trying to lift the front peg up. Step 6. Getting out of smiths cleanly can be difficult. It takes quite a lot of strength to pull the weight onto the back wheel. As the front peg leaves the ledge, just lean back onto the rear wheel. I've moved the magazine because the keyboard is blocking my view. Step 7. As the back wheel leaves the ledge, the front wheel will probably still be lower than the back. You need to pull back on the bars and push the rear end down. With your legs for the short time you're in midair. Step 8. Landing both wheels at the same time is good. But like we said before, mastering the exit of a smith cleanly can take a bit of time and effort. The best thing to do is practice. that is how to do a smith grind. So,